It's a haunting story, and my ambition has been that the music will be haunting.
Hans is like a good actor. You always hope to be surprised.
The writing part is just really close to some sort of madness.
I'm in Belsize Park in London. I'm in George Martin's facility, which is where Hans Zimmer and I actually like to do score.
And it's really a comedy love story. And we have a little opera in it, so we're going to start with the opera. And it's on your stand. There you go.
The music really is dialogue. It's, in fact, if you like, the final adjustment to the screenplay. And it's also the final emotional adjustment to my filming process, because the filming is long gone and done, and I can adjust the picture with music, and I can adjust, sometimes they don't like to hear it, but I can sometimes adjust performance with music. I like to work with Hans. I think this is the 4th or 5th now.
Actually, the first time I met Ridley, I had the audacity to ask him, how do I not get fired of one of your movies? And he said, don't write me a symphony. So we're doing an opera instead. Ridley knows, for instance, to get me into the cutting room, and I sit there and we both, with Pietro sit there and go through the movie and talk about the scenes and what they mean. We don't talk about the music. We try never to talk about the music because that would narrow it down too much, and it would be restrictive, and using words for things that you cannot describe in words, because my language, for me, is more articulate than these words I'm using. That's good. If we can hear a bit more of the words, that'd be great. Especially flute, because he's the sweetness, and he's about the best player there is. Jonathan Snowden looks more and more like the suffering artist. Let them go through it. Back a little bit on the claris. I remember the first time I played him, my set of themes, I wrote about 35 minutes of just ideas and themes, and Ridley sitting next to me as I'm playing these ideas to him for the first time. He's not saying a word because he's listening, but there came one moment where I was truly doing something very crazy, and just his head turned to me and this one eyebrow raised itself, and I just like it is now. And it was the look of, you are completely mad and I like it. Which was, it's all the praise I need. I need that one, when that one eyebrow goes up in just the right way, I know I'm heading, that close to disaster, which is the only place to live, really.
If Hans is suddenly on an off day, I usually just say to him in so many words, this is not why I'm with you at this moment, Hans. I'm here for different things, and I'm here for your originality, so cut the crap and actually let's do it again. He goes, you're absolutely right, let's do it again.
I'm going to make a change in the overall thing, I think. Whenever the tenor has a line, I'm going to get them to play a little fuller, and whenever she sings, I'm going to get them to play a little thinner.
Okay.
Just because I think it'll be a nice contrast.
That's a nice idea.
Do you know what I mean?
I like that idea. Okay. That'd be good.
The great thing about this film is that you can literally read a million different versions of messages, of subtext, of substance into each scene. And I can score this movie truly as a Freudian, archetypal Freudian Beauty and the Beast type fairy tale. I can score this as a horror movie. I can score this as the most elegant piece. I can score this as a treatise on corruption in the American police force. I can score it as the loneliest woman on earth. I can score this as, you know, the beauty of the Renaissance. I can do all these different things in each scene. And I have to make up my mind where do I want to see the character at which moment in time.
I felt the underlying emotion of this film is affection, right? And in some instances, you might even wonder, certainly from one direction, is it more than affection?
I've come from this idea that it should really be a love story, but it can be a dark love story. You know, I think using the word passion in its truest sense. I mean, these are two people that should never be together. This is Romeo and Juliet, and so I've done a modern day Romeo and Juliet.
It is dark because the story, of course, is essentially dark, but it's kind of romantic at the same time.
Pretty good, let me come out.
You're getting a visit from Hans.
Oh shit, thanks.
That's beautiful.
Really nice.
Oh god, you're following me. I don't know, I feel something is following me. I have this crazy idea that whenever the tenor is singing, that we get a little fuller. You know, because it can give us a real contrast there. The idea being basically when the tenor is singing that we get a little more masculine in the bottom end. Sorry, ladies.
So, in fact,
I heard that.
the diminuendo starts at the end of 22. Yeah,
You caught us on the day where we have the normal symphony orchestra for the opera sequence, but most of the time I'm using this very odd orchestra, which is only cellos and basses, and they're all playing at the extreme ends of their range. You know, the cellos are playing literally the highest note they can possibly play, and very often I have people play so quietly and so delicately, because I think that is part of the character. Everything that Anthony's character is for me is somebody at the extreme range of whatever is humanly imaginable somehow. And at the same time, it gives it, because I'm sort of misusing the orchestra, I'm misusing these instruments in a way. It gives it that sort of ancientness. You know, they don't sound like a modern day orchestra, and it's part of the quality I'm trying to have all the way through. If I'm here behind the glass, I serve the orchestra better because I can, you know, I have now written it and I'm nearly an audience, and I can, you know, my criticism is from a sort of recording perspective. It sounds very different out there, you know. The great thing is, I mean, you know, you've been walking around out there. It's a different experience sitting amongst the orchestra, and we haven't got the technology yet to really make that work. I know we have 5.1 surround, etc. It's still not the same as sitting amongst them. So since I can't actually capture that, nobody can. It's better if I sit here and you know, try to sort of fake it up, you know, with all the technology that we have, try to sort of manipulate that sense more. Happy?
Love
Sounded really good.
Another one.
Yeah.
Just like that and save that. Beautiful.
Really fantastic. Let's just do another one for safety's sake. But I mean, really, that was it.
There was one stage.
Okay, let me just explain a couple of things here. Since this is a Ridley Scott film, we've never done one without a waltz in it. The Gary Oldman character in this one listens in one scene to the Blue Danube, and bad things happen to him. And you know how that is when something really bad happens to you, you might never ever forget that moment and try to get back to it. So we're using the Blue Danube in a sort of a straight form, and then it starts getting more and more sort of perverted as the movie progresses. So musicians are so more educated, or their education starts so far more earlier than any other job. I mean, you know, a doctor goes to university for I don't know how many years, or a lawyer. These guys started learning their craft when they were three or four, whatever. You know, I mean, they've been doing this all their life. I mean, the level of competence, the level of just sheer learning that's in that room out there is incredible. One of the things I love about music is it's this non-political, non-racist thing, really. And it's either you play well and you move me and you move my soul, or you don't. And that's the only requirement here, you know. And you can be as cantankerous and as difficult and whatever, and you can still play in my band because you play beautifully. It's such a beautiful piece. It really is. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or a communist or a Christian or a Jew or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just play and play from the heart. And that's the only requirement. And that is sort of a great thing in music. I'm just glad the little children have gone shopping. Stop! Every once in a while you wonder, is it all worth it? Is it worth it, this job, you know, staying up all night for weeks on end, you know, disappointing your family, not being home for weekends and stuff like this. And there was a moment, you know, after Ridley came back from Florence and we were all in the cutting room, and it's 11 o'clock at night and we're all standing there shouting at each other passionately about what one shot means, where tears gliding down her cheek, you know, there's a tear of anguish, there's a tear of loneliness, there's a tear of disgust, what is it? And three grown men, Pietro, Ridley and myself, being passionate about one tear, and you suddenly go, hang on, this is the greatest job on earth. Yeah. Very nice. But you know, didn't quite sound like world domination yet. I think we can do one more.